TGR. The thing that I'm most hyped about, the thing that I'm most excited about is Metroid Dread. Let me just be real. That's the thing that I'm most hyped about. That's the thing that I'm most looking forward to. And today, of all days, a bunch of previews came out. And as far as I know, there's still previews that are coming out. My phone has been buzzing since I think around like 9:30 this morning, continuously of just different things that are coming out. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what they did or what they've shown and what initial impressions there are for some of the people that are there. So if you do not want to hear anything in regards to Metroid Dread, this is your spoiler warning. But I'll be honest with you, some of these aren't really necessarily spoiler-ish. They're more in terms of, little things, because the preview was only for an hour and a half. So different people within the gaming industry were given an hour and a half to test this game out, see how it feels, and kind of just share their initial impressions with everyone. One of the people that did a pretty good job of kind of like summarizing everything was Steven Totillo on Twitter. He went ahead and kind of just gave like his first thoughts on the first 90 minutes of gameplay. Good Vibes Gaming also posted a video. It's in our pay to win channel. If you have access to it, if you're a Twitch member or a YouTube member or Twitch sub, YouTube member or a Patreon patron, and it's there. You can go ahead and access it and you can see it. And they did a really good job talking about a lot of the details within the game. So there's different things that I'm hearing from different areas, but let's go ahead and get into it. So he goes ahead and mentions, first 90 minutes I played were excellent, good mix of combat and exploring, which obviously, as we know, it's very important within these games. Map detection tools are bolstered, but there's less hand-holding guidance about where to go next. This is like such a big thing because for me, Metroid Fusion was extremely hand-holding, extremely. And like Metroid Fusion, Metroid 4 is the direct sequel to Metroid 3, which is Super Metroid. A lot of people, they say that Metroid 3 is the best Metroid game ever. And rightfully so. It's a phenomenal game. But having the less hand-holding experience is amazing, because Fusion was pretty much a linear experience, which is kind of saddening since Metroids 1 through 3 were essentially open exploration where you can go ahead and find different things and do different things. Great to see Metroid on an HD system. Map is impressive. It's huge. This shot shows partial discovery of the first named zone, which was full of distinct areas. New highlight icon option lets you pick, say, all doors of a certain type that you've found, highlight them on the map. Great for backtracking. So this is awesome. One of the things that Onyx and I, or at least I, was confused about when I first saw the one of the more recent trailers, I think it was the second or the third one, there was a mini map that was in the top right hand corner of the screen. I was like, whoa, like, wow, is this new? I like the mini map there. Was that in other games? And it was simply because of the fact of how detailed it was in comparison to the previous titles that did have a mini map. It was just completely different to how it was. One of the things that he mentions here is the advertised gimmick of being hunted is a supercharged version of Fusion's SAX hunting Samus. Lots of tense exploration and enemy patrol zones, but you can turn those zones safe. Unique powers granted to Samus to deal with hunts. The moveset even early on is astounding. So one of the things that Good Vibes Gaming went ahead and mentioned was that when SAX was happening in Fusion, which is true, was 100% scripted. When you return to this area, it was the SAX had moved on. It was someplace else in the ship. With the Emmys or the EMMI, you are constantly being berated in areas. They did not mention anything about turning an area safe. I don't know if that's something that is possible. And they did mention that they are constantly, the Emmys, they're constantly moving around continuously throughout the ship. There being multiple paths to go from one point A to point B in a section of a map allows for several options for Samus, but also it gives the same options to Emmy. So like there's a lot of cat and mouse play that goes into all of these interactions with the Emmys, and it's just awesome. You like everything that I've seen so far is extremely amazing. I'm not a fanboy, but I am fanboying out. I'm a fanboy. I'm just gonna say it. So key thing, Dread's marketed as a narrative sequel to 2002's Fusion, but it's also a story successor to 2017's prequel, Samus Returns. Samus Returns rewarded completionists with Chozo lore, including a final twist that seems to be followed up on early in Dread. One extra note about the map, any area you've been to that contains a hidden item will slowly flash on the map. I didn't love this and asked if it could be turned off. They said it couldn't. It doesn't show exact location, just about a screen's worth. So I think that this is something that I want to say we have seen in previous titles where there was kind of like a circle, like a little like circle that was on the map that just kind of showed you, hey, there's an item within this area that you have to go ahead and find. My assumption is that it is similar fashion in that sense. But overall, guys, I am hyped for this game. I cannot wait for this game to come out. Just everything that I've seen so far, it seems like it's going to be a phenomenal experience. And there's a lot of emphasis on the horror side of things and kind of keeping that horror feeling of things. It's hype. It's hype. Genuinely stoked.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more and stay up to date, subscribe, hit the little bell, and join our Discord.
If you want to support the channel, please check out our Patreon or hit the join button below. As always, thanks for your support and thanks for watching.